Good morning. I hope you're all going really well this day and that Father God is blessing each and every one of you in your life right now. Today I'm going to read from the book of Jubilees, beginning at chapter 27, and I'll just see where I get through to in the allotted time today. Chapter 27. Rebekah was told Esau's words in a dream, and Rebekah sent for Jacob, her younger son, and said to him, "Look, Esau, your brother, will take vengeance on you and kill you. Now therefore, my son, do as you are told, and get up and flee to Laban, my brother, to Haran, and stay with him a few days, until your brother's anger fades away, and he removes his anger from you, and forgets all that you have done. Then I will send for you to come from that place." Jacob said, "I am not afraid. If he wishes to kill me, I will kill him." But she said to him, "Let me not be bereft of both my sons on one day." Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, "Look, you know that my father has become old, and does not see because his eyes are dull. If I leave him, he will think it is wrong. If I leave him and go away from you, my father will be angry and will curse me. I will not go. When he sends me, only then will I go." Rebekah said to Jacob, "I will go in and speak to him, and he will send you away." Rebekah went in and said to Isaac, "I hate my life because of the two daughters of Heth, whom Esau has taken as wives. If Jacob take a wife from among the daughters of the land, such as these, I could not live with it, because the daughters of Canaan are evil." Isaac called Jacob and blessed him, and warned him and said to him, "Do not take you a wife of any of the daughters of Canaan. Arise and go to Mesopotamia, to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, and take a wife from that place of the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. And God Almighty bless you, and increase and multiply you, that you may become a company of nations, and give you the blessings of my father Abraham to you, and to your offspring after you, that you may inherit the land that you travel in, and all the land which God gave to Abraham. Go in peace, my son." Isaac sent Jacob away, and he went to Mesopotamia, to Laban the son of Bethuel, the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob's mother. It happened after Jacob had departed to Mesopotamia, that the spirit of Rebekah was grieved for her son, and she wept. Isaac said to Rebekah, "My sister, weep not because of Jacob, my son, for he goes in peace, and in peace will he return. The Most High God will preserve him from all evil, and will be with him. He will not forsake him all his days, for I know that his ways will be made to prosper in all things wherever he goes, until he returns in peace to us, and we see him in peace. Fear not on his account, my sister, for he is on the upright path, and he is a perfect man, and he is faithful and will not perish. Weep not." Isaac comforted Rebekah because of her son Jacob, and blessed him. Jacob went from the well of the oath to go to Haran on the first year of the second week in the 44th Jubilee, and he came to Luz on the mountains, that is Bethel, on the new moon of the first month of this week. And he came to the place at dusk, and turned from the way to the west of the road that is close, and that night he slept there, for the sun had set. He took one of the stones of that place as a pillow, and laid down under the tree, and he was journeying alone, and he slept. Jacob dreamt that night, and saw a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven, and he saw the angels of the Lord ascended and descended on it, and behold, the Lord stood on it. And he spoke to Jacob and said, "I am the Lord God of Abraham, your father, and the God of Isaac. The land you are sleeping on I will give to you and to your offspring after you. Your offspring shall be as the dust of the earth, and you will increase to the west and to the east, to the north and the south. And in you and in your offspring shall all the families of the nations be blessed. Behold, I will be with you, and I will keep you wherever you go. I will bring you into this land again in peace. I will not leave you until I do everything that I told you." Jacob awoke from his sleep and said, Truly this place is the house of the Lord, and I did not know it. He was afraid and said, I am afraid because this place is none other than the house of Jacob, and this is the gate of heaven, and I did not know it. Jacob got up early in the morning, and took the stone that he had placed under his head, and set it up as a pillar for a sign. And he poured oil on the top of it, and he called the name of that place Bethel, but the name of the place was previously Luz. And Jacob vowed a vow to the Lord, saying, If the Lord will be with me, and will keep me in the way that I go, and give me bread to eat, and clothes to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then the Lord shall be my God, and this stone, which I have set up as a pillar for a sign in this place, shall be the Lord's house. And of all that you gave me, I shall give the 10th to you, my God. Chapter 28. He went on his journey and came to the land of the east, to Laban, the brother of Rebekah. And he was with him, and Jacob served Laban for Rachel his daughter 1 week of years. In the 1st year of the 3rd week of years he said to him, Give me my wife, for whom I have served you 7 years. And Laban said to Jacob, I will give you your wife. Laban made a feast, and took Leah his elder daughter, and gave her to Jacob as a wife, and gave Leah Zilpah for a handmaid. And Jacob did not know, for he thought that she was Rachel. He went in to her, and saw she was Leah, and Jacob was angry with Laban, and said to him, Why have you done this to me? Did I not serve you for Rachel, and not for Leah? Why have you wronged me? Take your daughter, and I will go. You have done evil to me. For Jacob loved Rachel more than Leah, because Leah's eyes were weak, but her form was very beautiful. Rachel had beautiful eyes and a beautiful and very voluptuous form. Laban said to Jacob, It is not done that way in our country. We do not to give the younger before the elder, and it is not right to do this, for thus it is ordained and written in the heavenly tablets, that no one should give his younger daughter before the elder, but the elder one is given first, and after her the younger. The man who does so will have guilt placed against him in heaven, and none is righteous that does this thing, for this deed is evil before the Lord. Command the children of Israel that they do not this thing, they not do this thing. Let them neither take nor give the younger before they have given the elder, for it is very wicked. And Laban said to Jacob, Let the 7 days of the feast pass by, and I shall give you Rachel, that you may serve me another 7 years, that you may pasture my sheep as you did in the former week of years. On the day when the 7 years of the feast of Leah had passed, Laban gave Rachel to Jacob, that he might serve him another 7 years, and he gave Rachel, Bilhah, the sister of Zilpah, as a handmaid. He served yet another 7 years for Rachel, for Leah had been given to him for nothing, since it was Rachel he wanted. And the Lord opened the womb of Leah, and she conceived and gave birth to a son for Jacob, and he called his name Reuben, on the 14th day of the 9th month, in the 1st year of the 3rd week. But the womb of Rachel was closed, for the Lord saw that Leah was hated, and Rachel loved. Again Jacob went in to Leah, and she conceived, and gave birth to a second son for Jacob, and he called his name Simeon, on the 21st of the 10th month, and in the 3rd year of this week. Again Jacob went in to Leah, and she conceived, and gave birth to a third son, and he called his name Levi, in the new moon of the 1st month, in the 6th year of this week. Again Jacob went in to her, and she conceived, and gave birth to a 4th son, and he called his name Judah, on the 15th of the 3rd month, in the 1st year of the 4th week. Because of all this, Rachel envied Leah, for she did not bear a child, and she said to Jacob, Give me children. And Jacob said, Have I withheld from you the fruits of your womb? Have I left you? And when Rachel saw that Leah had given birth to 4 sons for Jacob, Reuben and Simeon and Levi and Judah, she said to him, Go into Bilhah, my handmaid, and she will conceive and bear a son for me. She gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, to wife, and he went in to her, and she conceived, and gave birth to a son, and he called his name Dan, on the 9th of the 6th month, and in the 6th year of the 3rd week. Jacob went in again to Bilhah a second time, and she conceived and gave birth to another son for Jacob, and Rachel called his name Naphtali, on the 5th of the 7th month, in the 2nd year of the 4th week. When Leah saw that she had become sterile and could no longer have children, she envied Rachel, and she also gave her handmaid Zilpah to Jacob to wife, and she conceived and gave birth to a son, and Leah called his name Gad, on the 12th of the 8th month, in the 3rd year of the 4th week. He went in to her again, and she conceived and gave birth to a second son, and Leah called his name Asher, on the 2nd of the 11th month, in the 5th year of the 4th week. Jacob went in to Leah, and she conceived and gave birth to a son, and she called his name Issachar, on the 4th of the 5th month, in the 4th year of the 4th week, and she gave him to a nurse. Jacob went in again to her, and she conceived and gave birth to 2 children, a son and a daughter, and she called the name of the son Zabulon, and the name of the daughter Dinah, in the 7th day of the 7th month, in the 6th year of the 4th week. The Lord was gracious to Rachel, and opened her womb, and she conceived and gave birth to a son, and she called his name Joseph, on the new moon of the 4th month, in the 6th year, in this 4th week. In the days when Joseph was born, Jacob said to Laban, "Give me my wives and sons, and let me go to my father Isaac, and let me make household for myself. For I have completed the years in which I have served you for your 2 daughters, and I will go to the house of my father." Laban said to Jacob, "Stay with me, and I will pay you wages, and pasture my flock for me again, and take your wages." They agreed with one another that he should give him as his wages those of the lambs and kids which were born spotted, black and white. These were to be wages. All the sheep brought out spotted and speckled and black, variously marked, and they brought out again lambs like themselves, and all that were spotted were Jacob's, and those which were not spotted were Laban's. Jacob's possessions multiplied greatly, and he possessed oxen and sheep and donkeys and camels, and menservants and maidservants. Laban and his sons envied Jacob, and Laban took back his sheep from him, and he envied him, and watched him for an opportunity to do evil. Chapter 29. It happened when Rachel had given birth to Joseph, that Laban went to shear his sheep, for they were distant from him, a 3-day journey. Jacob saw that Laban was going to shear his sheep, and Jacob called Leah and Rachel, and spoke sweetly to them in order to convince them to come with him to the land of Canaan. For he told them how he had seen everything in a dream, all that God had spoken to him, that he should return to his father's house. And they said, "To every place where you go, we will go with you." Jacob blessed the God of Isaac his father, and the God of Abraham his father's father. And he arose and placed his wives and his children on donkeys, and took all his possessions, and crossed the river, and came to the land of Gilead. And Jacob hid his intention from Laban, and did not tell him. In the 7th year of the 4th week, Jacob turned his face toward Gilead in the 1st month, on the 21st of it. Laban pursued and overtook Jacob in the mountain of Gilead, in the 3rd month, on the 13th of it. And the Lord did not permit him to injure Jacob, for he appeared to him in a dream by night. Laban spoke to Jacob. On the 15th of those days, Jacob made a feast for Laban, and for all who came with him. And Jacob swore to Laban that day, and Laban also swore to Jacob that neither should cross the mountain of Gilead to do evil to the other. He made a heap of stones for a witness there, wherefore the name of that place is called the heap of witness, after this heap. But before they used to call the land of Gilead the land of the Rephaim. The Rephaim were born giants, whose height was 10, 9, 8, down to 7 cubits. Their dwelling place was from the land of the children of Ammon to Mount Hermon, and the seats of their kingdom were Karnaim, and Ashtaroth, and Edrei, and Misur, and Beon. The Lord destroyed them because of the evil of their deeds, for they were malevolent, and the Amorites were wicked and sinful. There is no people today which has committed the full range of their sins, and their life on the earth was shortened. Jacob sent Laban away, and he departed into Mesopotamia, the land of the east, and Jacob returned to the land of Gilead. He passed over the Jabbok in the 9th month, on the 11th of it. On that day Esau his brother came to him, and he was reconciled to him, and departed from him to the land of Seir. But Jacob dwelt in tents. In the 1st year of the 5th week in this Jubilee, he crossed the Jordan, and dwelt beyond the Jordan. He pastured his sheep from the sea of the heap to Bethshan, and to Dothan, and to the forest of Akrabim. He sent his father Isaac all of his possessions, such as clothing, and food, and meat, and drink, and milk, and butter, and cheese, and some dates of the valley. 4 times a year he sent gifts to his mother Rebekah, who was living at the tower of Abraham. He sent the gifts between the times of the months, between ploughing and reaping, and between autumn and the rain season, and between winter and spring. For Isaac had returned from the well of the oath, and gone up to the tower of his father Abraham, and he dwelt there apart from his son Esau. For in the days when Jacob went to Mesopotamia, Esau took to himself a wife, Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael. And he gathered together all the flocks of his father and his wives, and went up and dwelt on Mount Seir, and left Isaac his father at the well of the oath alone. And Isaac went up from the well of the oath, and dwelt in the tower of Abraham his father on the mountains of Hebron. And that is where Jacob sent all that he did send to his father and his mother from time to time, all they needed, and they blessed Jacob with all their heart and with all their soul. Chapter 30. In the 1st year of the 6th week, he went to Salem, to the east of Shechem, in the 4th month, and he went in peace. Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, the prince of the land, carried off Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, into the house, and he had sex with her and defiled her. She was a little girl, a child of 12 years. He begged his father and her brothers that she might be given to him as a wife. Jacob and his sons were very angry because of the men of Shechem, for they had defiled Dinah their sister. They spoke to them while planning evil acts, and they dealt deceitfully with them and tricked them. Simeon and Levi came unexpectedly to Shechem, and executed judgment on all the men of Shechem, and killed all the men whom they found in it. They did not leave a single one remaining in it. They killed all in hand-to-hand battle, because they had dishonoured their sister Dinah. Let it not again be done from now on that a daughter of Israel be defiled. Judgment is ordained in heaven against them, that they should destroy all the men of the Shechemites with the sword, because they had committed shame in Israel. The Lord delivered them into the hands of the sons of Jacob, that they might exterminate them with the sword, and execute judgment on them, that it might not again be done in Israel, that a virgin of Israel should be defiled. If there is any man in Israel who wishes to give his daughter or his sister to any man who is of the offspring of the Gentiles, he shall surely die. They shall stone him, for he has committed shame in Israel. They shall burn the woman with fire, because she has dishonoured the name of the house of her father, and she shall be rooted out of Israel. Do not let an adulteress, and let no uncleanness be found in Israel throughout all the days of the generations of the earth. For Israel is holy to the Lord, and every man who has defiled it shall surely die. They shall stone him. For it has been ordained and written in the heavenly tablets regarding all the offspring of Israel, he who defiles it shall surely die. He shall be killed by stoning. There is no limit of days for this law. There is no remission and no atonement. The man who has defiled his daughter shall be rooted out from every corner of all Israel, because he has given of his offspring to Moloch, a pagan god, the worship of which involved burning the child alive, and committed impurity and defiled his child. Moses commanded the children of Israel and exhort them not to give their daughters to the Gentiles, and not to take for their sons any of the daughters of the Gentiles, for this is abominable before the Lord. It is because of this that I have written all the deeds of the Shechemites which they committed against Dinah, and placed them in the words of the law for you. I have also written how the sons of Jacob spoke, saying, We will not give our daughter to a man who is uncircumcised, for that is a reproach to us. It is a reproach to Israel that anyone take the daughters of the Gentiles, for this is unclean and abominable to Israel. Israel will not be free from this uncleanness, if it has a wife of the daughters of the Gentiles, or has given any of its daughters to a man who is of any of the Gentiles. There will be a plague upon plague, and curse upon curse, and every judgment and plague and curse will come if he does this thing. Or if they ignore those who commit uncleanness, or defile the sanctuary of the Lord, or those who profane his holy name. If any of these happen, the whole nation together will be judged for all the uncleanness and profanation of this man. There will be no judging people by their position, and no receiving fruits or offerings, or burnt offerings, or fat, or the fragrance of sweet odour from his hands. It will be unacceptable, and so warn every man and woman in Israel who defiles the sanctuary. For this reason I have commanded you, saying, Give this testimony to Israel. See how the Shechemites and their sons fared. See how they were delivered into the hands of 2 sons of Jacob, and they killed them under torture. It was counted to them for righteousness, and it is written down to them for righteousness. The offspring of Levi were chosen for the priesthood, and to be Levites, that they might minister before the Lord, as we do continually. Levi and his sons will be blessed forever, for he was zealous to execute righteousness and judgment and vengeance on all those who arose against Israel. So they wrote a testimony in his favour of blessing and righteousness on the heavenly tablets, in the presence of the God of all. We remember the righteousness that the man fulfilled during his life. Throughout the years, until 1,000 generations, they will record it. It will come to him and to his descendants after him, and he has been recorded on the heavenly tablets as a friend and a righteous man. All this account I have written for you, and have commanded you to tell the children of Israel, so that they will not commit sin, nor transgress the laws, nor break the covenant which has been ordained for them. They should fulfill it and be recorded as friends of God. But if they transgress and work uncleanness in any way, they will be recorded on the heavenly tablets as adversaries of God, and they will be blotted out of the book of life. Instead, they will be recorded in the book of those who will be destroyed, and with those who will be rooted out of the earth. On the day when the sons of Jacob killed Shechem, it was recorded in the record in their favour in heaven, that they had executed righteousness and uprightness, and vengeance on the sinners, and it was written for a blessing. They brought Dinah their sister out of the house of Shechem. They took everything that was in Shechem captive. They took their sheep and their oxen and their donkeys and all their wealth, and all their flocks, and brought them all to Jacob their father. He reproached them because they had put the city to the sword, for he feared those who dwelt in the land, the Canaanites and the Perizzites. The dread of the Lord was on all the cities that are near Shechem. They did not fight or chase after the sons of Jacob, for terror had fallen on them. So that concludes my reading of the book of Jubilees today. I've read from chapter 27 through to and including chapter 30. Next time I read from the book of Jubilees, I'll begin from chapter 31. So God bless each and every one of you this day. I hope all of you have a brilliant day. God bless you.